right, we are back for another episode. I keep saying episode. Late night? I don't know. Anyway, like I mentioned yesterday, these are going to be a lot later than typically because football is back and I'm definitely watching football. I know this is a basketball podcast, but I might as well integrate a little bit of football in there too, because we are going to be talking about football quite a bit. And sorry, messing with this mic, but watching it was the Eagles versus Packers. It was a good game for fantasy anyway. Very good game. If you had Saquon Barkley, he scored 3 touchdowns and just read he totaled 134 yards. So Saquon, you had him, you were good. If you had AJ Brown, you did good too. If you had Jalen, okay, he was okay. Had 2 picks, some interception, a fumble, wasn't that good. And he could have scored a touchdown at the end, but he fumbled the ball. So, yeah, no, it was a good game. Devontae Smith did pretty decent as well. Goddard was good in the first half, literally did nothing the second half. I can't even be mad at him, to be honest with you. Kind of knew what to expect. But all in all, good game, start to finish. It was a close game. It wound up being a 5-point game. Jordan Love, hopefully he got hurt near the end of the game, really with 5 seconds left. Jalen Carter, I'm not sure if he twisted his ankle or what happened, but he was trying to make a play. He was trying to make sure he didn't get sacked because Green Bay didn't have any timeouts. So he had to make sure he didn't get sacked, so he got the ball to Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs runs out of bounds, but in turn, I'm not sure if he twisted his ankle. Hopefully it's nothing serious. He was able to walk off the field with some help, which is, I believe it's a good sign. I'll probably have to read up. There's 2 doctors on Twitter that I read up on quite a bit to understand what people are talking about when they talk about as far as sports injuries. I'm pretty sure he has said something about it now, if I had to take a guess. There's 2 doctors. I'm trying to see if if he said anything or if he's asleep. But one is, I believe, hopefully I pronounced his name right, Deepak Shona. Yeah, he's saying he said video concern for both high ankle and ACL MCL. I don't believe it would have been an ACL MCL, in my opinion, but I'm not a doctor. It honestly didn't look. Now the thing was, Jordan Love was writhing in pain, so I think maybe that's where the concern. The crazy thing is, I remember, and for me, I had a microfracture back in college, and so I remember when that happened in game. The pain, I don't know if the pain was necessarily there. I wasn't screaming in pain or anything like that. I just remember not being able to get back up. I remember falling after making a pass, and I felt like somebody hit the inside of my leg. I didn't think much about it. I fell and was trying to get back up and literally just couldn't get back up. And I had tore my meniscus and a microfracture surgery. But so I wasn't screaming though. So I don't know. So I wonder if like the pain is a good sign. That's all I meant by not screaming, not a toughness thing, because all guys in the NFL, they're tough. So just to even get to that level. So I just wonder if is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, just because he could still feel it. But I know everybody has different levels, because I do remember when I tore my patella tendon some years ago now. I do remember that was painful. And so I'm pretty sure, but doctors out there, I'm pretty sure they understand one injury from another. I don't, but I'm pretty sure they do. I'm trying to find the other guy. I believe his name is Jesse Morris. I think that's his name. Jesse Morris. He said appears to be a left leg injury. He said his thoughts are coming soon. So I'll probably try to keep up with him as we're going through this for my or I'll talk about it more tomorrow, or Probably won't talk about it more tomorrow. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll probably forget by tomorrow. So hopefully I see it tonight. But let's get into a few things. Do I come prepared all the time? Yeah. Let's just put it like that. But I'm going to bring you some stuff. So when everybody eventually comes back and watch these videos from back in the day, and they see I had some stuff I was talking about. So today I want to talk about the incoming, says ESPN put out the boys basketball recruiting top 25 players regardless of class. I'm not really familiar with the high school ranks, so I need to really go back and dive into it. I know some players, but I'm not totally familiar, so this is going to be a nice list for me personally to look at. Number one, they have AJ Debonsa. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Now, I did know he's the number one in the class. And the number two I know as well. He's a small forward. They say he's positionless, size, talent. I thought he was like 6'9", if I remember right. They say he could dominate games. I'll have to see highlights. And I know I probably could do that, but that would waste too much time because I would just start deep diving in all his highlights. So AJ's one. They have Cameron Boozer two. He's a power forward. So AJ's a small forward. Cameron Boozer, Carlos's dad. Cameron Boozer is a power forward. I kind of know a lot about a good bit because he was Gatorade Player of the Year one year. So high IQ. I wouldn't say he's necessarily that athletic. He does have low post game, has some footwork and whatnot, and I'm pretty sure he has a pretty good mid-range shot if he's anything like his dad. Darren Peterson, they have him as a shooting guard. They say he's an exceptional scorer, position size. They don't really have people's heights on here. That would help. Oh, I can see what class they're in. So AJ's in the 2025 class, Cameron's in the 2025 class, and Darren Peterson's in the 2025 class. He's a prolific prep guard. Okay. They have Tyron Stokes. He's a 2026 class, and he's a power forward as well. So he must be pretty good if he's actually in the top 5 for all the classes. He's a power forward. They have Nate Mint, 2025 class, small forward. Looks like he's a pretty good shooter. Pretty accurate from what I'm reading here. Caleb Wilson next. This guy, Caleb Wilson's 2025. Koa Pete. I heard of him back in, I want to say it was middle school, so this is some years ago. He should be about to graduate now. But they have him at power forward. I remember back in the day, I believe he was small forward, so he must have grown a good bit. I'd be interested to watch some highlights on him to see how his game progressed. Chris Sinek Jr., he's a center. Well, they have him 6'10", 230. Why they have his height but nobody else's? Another 2026 guard. They have Brandon McCoy. Okay. Caleb Holt is number 10. He's 2026. Elijah Arenas, number 11, 2026, another guard. Looks like the 2026 class might be pretty good because I don't really see any more. They have some 2025 people on here, but the 2026 class is taking over because I will stop at 15 because I don't really know. And like Elijah, I know because he's Gilbert Arenas' son, but I need to really take a deeper dive into some of these guys because they have Micah Morian. He's a power forward. A lot of these guys aren't committed anywhere. Jordan Smith, he's uncommitted as well. They say he has shades of Drew Holiday, which is pretty good. Taj Ariza, I'm assuming that's Trevor Ariza's son. If I had to take a guess, they said he's a small forward, good in catch and shoot scenarios, scores from all 3 levels as a slasher and a finisher. Jason Crow, but all these are 2026 guards. Guard small forwards that I've been reading, and Morian is a power forward. So it looks like 2026 class is going to be pretty nice. I wonder, can I click? I wish I could. I would like to see if I could just see a quick highlight. but they don't have it here on ESPN, and that's fine. But just from reading this, it looks like the 2025 class, the top of it is good, but it looks like the 2026 class might be the class to go to get. But you never know how people progress, because there's always people that don't make the list, don't even come close to making the list, and wind up being way better than anybody on the list. So you never know. But it's interesting just reading it. I wish they had a little bit more detail, in my opinion, or video to actually go with just ranking some of these guys. Because just looking at names isn't really going to do any good. I like to kind of see how they play, because sometimes I agree with takes, sometimes I don't, just based on the game. But this was interesting. Let's go into topic 2. Is this the discussion? Yeah, this is the discussion. Okay, somebody out here put, in 2019, Blake Griffin experienced a career renaissance with the Pistons. Which contender would have been the best place to trade him to? To trade him? I don't know how that would have worked with Blake, because he worked with the Pistons because he got the ball. He was the best player. And it was right before his knees started to fail him. So, and his athleticism at this point had, waned down quite a bit. So he wasn't as the athletic Blake Griffin that everybody loves to remember. He could still, he's 6'9", 6'10", so he could still dunk on people, but he wasn't the same guy that was able to catch lobs off the backboard on Pau Gasol and dunk all over him. So they talk about his jump shot, saying his jump shot was a lot more refined, short burst of energy in his post game, yeah. But yeah, he kind of helped that Pistons team, but I don't think, in a sense, in my opinion, I would have compared his game to like a Julius Randle type, where he a big-bodied guy who can score when they have the ball in their hands, but I'm not sure how effective they are if they're not getting, 15, 20 touches a game. So, yeah, I'm not sure how that would necessarily work for Blake in 2019. Somebody said Blake is my favorite player of all time. He said, just refused to stop gaining skills until his body gave up on him. Blake with Harden in Houston would have been fun, but that wouldn't have worked. In my opinion, that wouldn't have worked. And I'm just trying to see who he fit, regardless of contract situation. He honestly, I don't think he would have fit with any contender, in my opinion. Not at that time. Just because of the way he played, he would have needed to be in a free-flowing offense, and that still wouldn't work because he would need to slow the ball up, because Blake started trying to do this little step back, and then, he had his elbow in for his jump shot, which he was making at a pretty decent clip for a big man. But I honestly don't think he would have been good enough for a playoff contender at that time. Just because I believe he would have needed the ball. And that's just my opinion. He was a good player at that time. Let's look at some stats. At that time, Blake, I had to take a guess. He probably was 20-8. If I had to take a guess. The 2019 season with the Pistons. Let's see. Because he made an all-star team. Let's see. He was 24, basically almost 25 a game, and 7, almost 8 rebounds and 5 assists. So, shot 36% from the 3, but also, and it's how I know he wasn't, as good as he used to be. He shot 46% from the field. The height of Blake Griffin, but all right, the height of Blake Griffin would have been his second year, because honestly, I don't think Blake Griffin ever rebounded as good as his rookie year. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. He didn't. He averaged 12 rebounds a game his rookie year. Never does it again. Never comes close to doing that again. Yeah, averages 10, almost 11 his second year, and then never averages 10 rebounds again. So, sorry if I'm yawning. It's 12:20 in the morning. But so Blake, he good player, but I don't think at that time, honestly, I don't think at that time. The Pistons weren't the best team. Allowed him to get buckets, but you can see Blake the next year falls down to 15 points a game. But also that does have to go with minutes, but he shoots 35% from the field. And then I guess he got hurt that year because he plays 18 games. So, yeah, that's my thing. I honestly don't think he would have fit on a contender, in my opinion. Some great thoughts, but no, not at that time. Okay, I have a video here. What is this video about? Who had the worst shooting form of all time? Okay, load up. Let me stop this. All right. Okay, calm down. All right, I need to share my screen. Now, off the top of my head, I'm thinking Chucky Hayes. Sean Marion shooting form, everybody talks about it, but I think Chucky was worse. His free throw was worse anyway. Hopefully they got people named. Oh, okay, I see it kind of. Cartwright. Let's Bill Cartwright. All right, let's go ahead and start this. Let's see. Yeah, Bill. That's pretty. All right, let me start it over. Oh, now it wants to pause. It wouldn't. Never mind. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Okay, Bill. Let's go Bill number one right now.
Advantage. He's got to look to score.
Oh, is this just a Bill Cartwright thing? Oh, Taco, that's bad.
Interesting form, but he nails them both. Many hits right there. Look like Charles Barkley's gone.
Hold up. You see a little kid? Oh, this is hilarious.
She's
like,
what? Many hits right there. Look like Charles.
Please don't practice after him. Oh,
which is the lowest free throw percentage by anyone in the league. Yeah. So is that how they teach people to shoot free throws at UCLA?
Oh my God! Was that Moses? What happened?
Noah side spin on it.
Yeah.
Why is he letting go of the ball?
Turning around.
All right, Joakim, he might have missed, but that's not as bad.
Open the door.
It's bad.
Kind of blew that ball up.
No.
Oh.
And misses
But the
by
thing
about
is,
Last in the NBA in free throw percentage all season long.
Michael Kidd, hold up, okay. Hold up, I wasn't paying attention.
and misses by about a foot.
Last in the NBA in free throw
Let's go back.
percentage all season long.
Michael Kidd Gilchrist. You know, even though he shot sideways, to me, Chucky was bad, but Bill was bad himself.
That's one of those lane violations.
Was the California.
How you get a lane violation on your own free throw? That was Chucky's problem. Chucky's going backwards, forward. I don't know. Bill's is bad, but Bill at least is.
Very quiet in game number 5.
Advantage. He's got to look to score.
But Bill is actually making his. All right, so let me go back to full screen. So in my opinion, Tacos is pretty bad. Bill's is bad, but he makes it. Joakim Noah's form isn't as bad to their level. Chucky's is terrible. I would wish they could have found a Chucky Hayes jump shot. Because Chucky, one free throw is going forward, next free throw is going backwards. You can tell he just lost all confidence. Bill Cartwright's free throw. Moses letting go of the ball with one hand and shooting like a shot put that goes sideways is bad. Tacos is really bad though, because it's like he has the ball, then loses the ball, catches, and then tries to still shoot the ball. Maybe because his hands are so big. I'm not sure though. They can't be everything though, because I'm pretty sure Wemby's hands are probably huge too, if I take a guess. And even though Giannis doesn't have the prettiest form, at least it's doable. Michael Kidd Gilchrist shoots sideways. If I had to pick, because that's what I do. If I had to pick, okay, it's between Chucky for me, and I think I'm gonna have to throw Moses in there. Moses was god awful. We're gonna have to go Moses, and I was pretty sure it was Chucky, but I didn't realize Moses. When did he start shooting free throws like that? That was absolutely terrible. Okay. Oh, actually, let me not exit out. I just realized I exit out of something that. Let me not do that because then I won't have anything else to reference. Okay. Oh, but I realized what I just did get out of. And hopefully it comes back. Thank you. I am so sorry. No. Oh, man. I might have messed up. Guys, did I mess up? I did not. Okay. All right, we're back. We're back. All right. We're shooting form. All right. Let's go back to... I thought I was going to find some new news. Looks like something old. All right. Let's see if I can find something old then. If I can't find nothing new. No. It says Kyrie wore my shirt. That's not interesting at all. It says, oh, this is interesting. Okay, let's look at this. Let me see if I can show it first before I say look at it. Okay. Yeah, we should be able to see it. Okay. This is, okay. It said Ryan Clark said, it says Russell Westbrook's wife Nina responds to Ryan Clark's comments saying Lamar Jackson is the Russell Westbrook of the NFL. Huh. Okay. What does this say? It says, my goodness, just as a basketball fan, we couldn't even wait for the NBA season to start up before Russell's slander begins. One, this doesn't make any sense. The only comparison to be made between Russell and Lamar are that they're both unicorns and amazing at what they do. 3, I've never met Ryan. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but please stop. And finally, before you start hating on Russell, at least let the basketball season start and let him miss a layup or something first. I'm still enjoying the peace and silence. Huh. Okay. Does this make it? Is the Russell Westbrook of the? Maybe Ryan Clark said that because he missed some throws. Maybe, but I'm trying to think. I wouldn't say that. Russ won one MVP, but I wouldn't say it was unanimous like Lamar did. And Lamar has won 2 MVPs at this point. I don't think I don't think Lamar's the Russell Westbrook of the NFL, just in my opinion. Because Lamar does help his team to wins, and he's a winning player. He does enough things on the floor to help a team win. Russ did at a time, but I honestly would put Lamar, I believe, on a higher scale than you would put Russ, in my opinion. If I had to say so, especially at the end of the day, Russ is almost at the end of his career, so his legacy is already set. Lamar still has a ton that he can do, and he's already has 2 MVPs. He's been to the conference championship game. He's playing against one of the greatest players ever, and probably will have to continue. But eventually, he's still early in his career. What's Lamar? Year 6, 7, maybe. Say quarterbacks the way they're going. And I know he's a running quarterback, so it might change things, but I'm pretty sure Lamar could play anywhere from 13 to 15 years. I'm pretty certain of it. All right, let's go to point number 2. The only comparison to say they're unicorns. It's tough to call somebody a unicorn when you had somebody before them that did similar. Or at the same time, in Russ' situation, you had Derrick Rose. A unicorn is something that, in my opinion, that should not be able to be replicated. And you already had one. You had Derrick Rose. So the unicorn argument for me is out on that piece. Same with Lamar. You had Mike Vick. So that kind of takes the unicorn part out. Now, highly talented. Did things nobody else could do? Yes, definitely. But the unicorn, I would take the unicorn thing out. And even if you try to throw in the triple doubles with Russ, you had a guy in when did Oscar play 60s, 70s, do the same thing. I've never met Ryan. Sure, he's a nice guy. Please stop. I'm pretty sure he's nice, but he played football too, so I'm pretty sure he probably has a mean streak to him too. And finally, before you hate, let the season start. Yeah, that's not what people do with Russ, so that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Legion, let's see if they got anything better on here. Ryan Clark comparisons, cool. Kyle Kuzma said the Lakers would be still contending for titles if he wasn't traded. I'm going to go ahead and move on because that doesn't make any sense. Jared Vanderbilt still not ready to play? How long has this man been hurt for? It says, report says Jared Vanderbilt may not be ready to play by Lakers training camp. What did he hurt? That is insane. Okay. Somebody's talking about betting. NBA executive thinks Lakers should trade for Zach LaVine. I think so too. But I believe that will require Austin Reeves. That's going to require Rui Hachimura. Probably and D'Lo. All three of them for Zach LaVine? Yeah, I'll probably do that. I'm not sure what the money works out to be, but yeah, if I'm the Bulls, that's what I want. All right, y'all get one, I get three. Now, does that make the Lakers better? In my opinion, no. Does it give them a third option, a true third option at this point? Even though I believe in Austin Reeves, and I believe Austin Reeves on his own team would be a great player in my opinion. I believe Austin Reeves could be to the heights of like a Gordon Hayward for Utah. I think Austin Reeves could be that. But back to Zach, do I think he makes the Lakers better? In my opinion, scoring-wise, yes, because Zach is going to be able to do things nobody else can do. The energy he'll have. Now, defensively, that's something he'll have to work on. Because that's the only thing I don't get about super athletic guys or twitchy guys is how they can't play or don't play like good or even solid defense. But they would give up too many pieces, in my opinion, for the depth aspect. So I don't know if I necessarily do that deal unless now if I had to give up two. And then maybe I'm not sure what the pick situation is or how that works out. Maybe. I wonder, what's this site I was on the other day where it was, it's like a trade, not generator, calculator maybe? Maybe NBA, no, like it's a trade machine. NBA trade machine. And let's put Zach LaVine in it. Zach LaVine, can I do anything with the Lakers? Oh, here it goes. This is similar to it. Okay, let me see. Add team. Let's do the Lakers. Oh, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to use the tools. I want to see what other people post. Yeah, because it takes too much work for me right now. I got to do this before I even started this. All right, let's do Zach LaVine. Oh, it tells me his contract, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for trade proposals involving Zach LaVine. That's what I want. Am I going to get it? Probably not, because I don't know how to work this thing. But if I did, it would. But so let's just go back to the discussion. So I don't think it's a fit. Now, I think a one trade, I guess plus picks would be the best scenario. If you had to give up two, maybe. I would try my hardest to make sure Reeves is in that deal. But to be honest with you, when I'm looking up, I like the points per possession model, if you know me. When I look up Rui and Austin Reeves, they were both great. And I look at D'Lo, he was very good as well. So I don't know if I really want to give up any of them. Zach LaVine, I think, if I had to guess, I don't think he's really been hurt. I think he's been not been playing and been saying he's been injured, probably off a little nicks and little knacks and stuff like that. But I think if he had to play, I think he would play, in my opinion. Let's see if Legion has anything else. No, just everything from the game, the football game yesterday. So let us move on. So this right here is it's highlights from the game. It says Chris Paul and James Harden. Game 4 highlights. And I guess just showing how good they were as a duo. Which they were. They were pretty awesome in my opinion.
Chris
Let me
Paul,
see if I
15.
can turn some of the volume down. Yeah, because you're gonna have the thing is both of them could just get to the basket at will. I don't really want to play them. Yeah, that's the thing about both of them, honestly. And they had the quickness to do what they needed to do. James is going to get to the paint. I forgot they had Capella at the time. All right, let's move on. Chris Paul, James Harden, both of them can get to the basket, do what they need to. Yeah, it didn't matter. It really didn't. Yeah, because anytime I look up Chris Paul or James Harden, like in the past, they both, and again, I'll mention this again, they are both excellent in the pick and roll, and they're both excellent in isolation. And then their points per possession model, it's usually either very good or excellent. So, in turn, those are the type of players. Those are winning players, honestly. Because Steph Curry honestly has the same thing, even though his spot up is a little bit higher. He just gets more opportunities to do that. When you have somebody like Clay, you could see his spot up shooting is very high. But my thing is, if you have an isolation guy or a pick and roll guy, you're going to want that isolation guy, like a Grayson Allen. I have to look up Luke Kennard. I think I keep saying that. But I have to look up Luke Kennard. But you want guys like that because you know if I need to kick the ball out, I have a score. One thing I noticed for the big guys, I got to keep looking at it, though. But if they can cut for the guys, because everybody's not Joker, everybody's not Embiid. But if you can get a big man that can cut to the basket and does it pretty well, that's a good sign as well. So it's crazy. It's crazy kind of seeing James at this level because he's just athletic, and this was back in 20. Is it going to say? Oh, it changed my screen. Didn't want to do it, but that was back in 2018. Back in 2018, that is kind of crazy when you think about it. Yeah, and James was able to get to the basket whenever. And the pick and roll, you can clearly tell the pick and roll. And I haven't looked, and you can look at to see what type of shots they're good at. Sometimes I look at it, sometimes I don't. It just depends. For me, it's more of a efficiency metric because that usually will tell you if they're good at a certain aspect of the game. And like Chris Paul, handoffs, pick and roll, anything. You want Chris Paul to have the ball in his hand. Even in, and I'll stop watching there. Even in Golden State, I want to look just real quick to see what. Let me refresh it. Let me make sure I still have access. But I want to see what his efficiency metrics, because it should have definitely been down this year. It should not have been good. Okay, it says he was average. All right, that makes sense. But look at this. And the two stats that I like, in the pick and roll, he was very good. In isolation, he was very good. And he happened to be good, very, very good at spotting up as well. But that's how I know, and well, not know, but I'm pretty certain he's going to be good with the Spurs. He's going to get more playing time. He's going to have the ball in his hand a lot more. And he's going to help all those young guys. He's just going to be that old vet. And that's what you need. That's what you need. Sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze, and I can't tell right now. But that's what you need. You need that vet that's going to be able to get the guys in order and get these young guys going. Okay. So is this the last thing on the docket? Is this a quick session today? I know that much. Can I watch a video or something? I don't know. Okay. Last thing I have on the docket right now. If LeBron accepted a minimum contract, which team would be best for him in the upcoming season? In my opinion, LeBron needs the ball. So, honestly, it's actually, now I think about it, it's pretty easy. One of the teams are pretty easy. We'll just go with the Golden State Warriors. That's actually a really easy team because Steph doesn't need the ball. LeBron and him could work in tandem. You wouldn't really need Draymond if you had LeBron. Just being honest, you don't need him at that. You don't need Draymond at that point because LeBron's taking care of that role and the pick and roll. LeBron's smart enough, and I would need Draymond to become a better shooter to help that aspect. But let's just run down through some teams. The Celtics, I don't think it really works because the big two need the ball, and they had too many mouths to feed. So I think it's going to work, but it's not a perfect fit. OKC is not going to work. Let's just run down. Actually, let's do this. Let me look at my phone. Let's just run down through some teams so we can get a better idea of what I see and go from there. Oh, the NBA, they don't even have it on here. And this is just an easy little site to look this stuff up, really? Let me read it out so I can make sure. NFL, WNBA, MLB, NCAA, then women's tennis, soccer, MLS. Okay, I thought I might have been missing something. Okay, let's look at standings. And I just got to play. All right. So Boston, no. Brooklyn, would it fit? Yeah, but LeBron's wouldn't go there because they don't have a team yet. New York, not a good fit. Philly, possibly because Tyrese Maxey has shown he doesn't need the ball. Paul George is going to get the ball, but Paul George is definitely a third option on this team. And Joel Embiid can play with LeBron because it's just another big high-low. So that might possibly work. Toronto, team's too young, not going to work. LeBron would need championship-type teams. Chicago would not work. Cleveland would not work just because you would need Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell wouldn't be getting the ball as much, and somebody's getting frustrated. Detroit's not going to work and just not going to win. Indiana's not going to work. No point in having Tyrese Halliburton if he's not going to be able to dish out 10 assists. Just be a shooter. That's why he got traded in the first place. Milwaukee does not work. Just too many mouths to feed. Atlanta, basically Trey becomes useless because, well, it's not useless, but LeBron is going to command the ball a lot more than what Trey is and what DeJounte Murray did. So maybe Trey can become a spot-up shooter. Maybe that'd be better for him. Charlotte, no, not really. But Atlanta is a no as well. Charlotte, no. Miami, no. Orlando, no. Because Paolo needs the ball. Then Franz needs the ball. There's a lot of guys, actually. Washington, he's not going there. Golden State, yes, that works. Clippers does not work right now. Lakers, of course. Phoenix. It would give him a point guard. But Devin Booker would have to sacrifice, and Bradley Beal would be next to nothing at that point. Sacramento does not work. Dallas does not work because LeBron would need to be the one that comes off the ball. Houston, a lot of mouths to feed. Jalen Green becomes irrelevant. Fred VanVleet becomes a spot-up shooter. Yeah. He's not going there, but it's actually not a bad situation. Memphis does not work. New Orleans, no, it doesn't work. It could work, but DeJounte Murray, you just got DeJounte Murray. So I think without DeJounte, it would work. San Antonio, of course, that will work. Denver, you move Jamal Murray off the ball. He can catch and shoot with the best of them. Denver could potentially work. Minnesota, no, because you have to move Anthony Edwards off the ball. I wouldn't want to do that. Oklahoma City, no. Portland, not going there. Utah, not going there either. So there's a few teams on the list. I think that could potentially work. Yeah. Somebody said it would be hilarious to send him to Boston and put Tatum on the bench. That would just be dumb. Unironically, the Cavs, his position is their biggest weakness. The problem with the Cavs is, are you making Donovan Mitchell just a spot-up shooter at this point? Because I guess somebody could play the Kyrie role, but that means Darius Garland's not playing as well. So, because something would have to give, because according to what we've seen from LeBron is somehow just going to get his numbers. No matter what happens, LeBron's getting his numbers. So in turn, you're going to have to figure out how to get yours. Whether it as the big men get less shots. Jared Allen, I'm not worried about him, but Evan Mobley, I'm pretty sure LeBron will be using him a lot in the pick and roll. Same with Jared Allen, which could possibly work. But the Knicks definitely don't work. Nuggets, I believe, do work, and so do the Sixers. Yeah. Somebody said Steph and KD should team up like in the Olympics. It would work just because of who they are, but I don't know if they would ever do that. Yeah, but that's interesting. Today was quicker than usual. Let's do this. For the last part of the video. I'm going to let me actually share my screen. Actually, before I share my screen, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take you through, in a sense, that day in the life of what I look at and what I do. I'm gonna look at the Atlanta Hawks, and let's just go. I'll show you on Synergy. So I'm looking at the Atlanta Hawks. We'll start here. My team I root for. So we can kind of get an idea of what offensively, how they were last year. Just average on a points per possession value. Shot 46%. On the points per possession model, I'll say that just because I'll look at our team overall, and that number will change. Because I don't know if they take out like half court heaves or things like that. In the half court, it looks like we were actually good. Transition, we were poor, which is not a good sign. I would assume against man we were good. Most of the time it would be against man. Excellent against zone. That's okay. Interesting. They do have a points per game breakdown, but this isn't what I necessarily look at. But I would like to see our play types. Spot up, pick and roll, very good at it. Transition, if we're going to be in transition as the Hawks, we have to get transition type players. That makes no sense. Okay, but I'll come over here, right? So I'll check out our team for last year. Can I not go to 2024-25? I can't because we haven't started the season. So that's fine. Let's look at our team last year. So let's do point per game. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at Trey. So somebody like Trey, he was average last year. I kind of harped on it. His play type, pick and roll, I know he's very good at that. Isolation, he was just good. He was in transition a lot, only average. Trey being 6 foot, probably has. I can't make an excuse because I know Chris Paul is at his height was pretty good in transition, so I can't make that excuse for him. Shot types, very good on the catch and shoot. Even when guarded, shoots 38% when guarded, 40% when not. His dribble jumper was actually pretty good. But him getting to the rim was not good. And his layups was actually below average. So those are little things that Trey to be better and become the best needs to work on. But let's look at Bogey. Just want to look at our important players. His points per possession, just average. And you'll see the better teams have a lot more people that's very good to excellent. And it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference because you can see we're good spot-up shooters. He was good in transition. Pick-and-roll ball handler is actually excellent. Isolation, I believe, he'd be terrible. Yeah, below average. Makes sense. But you can see most of his possessions are spot-ups. And that's what we expect from Bogey. His jump shot, his catch and shoot was good. Guarded was average. It was very good unguarded. It makes sense. He would be... Actually, when I was about to say he'd be in those situations a lot more, but it looks like he was guarded more times than he was unguarded. His dribble jumper is very good. But again, two guys not good at making layups. And then shooting 51% from shooting layups is not good, by the way. Okay. Jalen Johnson, he's going to be my next guy. So Jalen Johnson actually was good in all his possessions. And this is offensively, by the way. I can look at defense another day. Not a good. He's an average spot-up shooter, average in transition, which is weird because of how athletic he is. In the pick and roll man is for usually a big man. He was good at it. But this right here, the cut, so they need to use him a lot more cut situations. Very good. I like seeing that from the big men. Pick and roll ball handler, no, we shouldn't be doing that often. But I like that it's cutting to the basket and stuff like that. You can narrow these down if you want. You can do it to the basket, off screen, off a flash. And if you want to break it down, you can do his makes, his misses, things like that. His shot types, let's see. His jump shot was actually good last year. When guarded, it was good, and unguarded average. Okay. His runner was very good last year, but his layups were below average. His dunks were excellent. His layups were below average. Come on, man. He can't lay the ball up because he dunks so well. Because his dunks at 94%. Okay. But stuff like this is like telling signs for the team offensively and the reason why we can't get it done. DeAndre Hunter was good on a points per possession value. Very good at spot up. So we could see Bogey and him spot up very well. So they need to be in those type of situations. But in transition, they're both bad. So maybe we need to bring the ball back out. Pick and roll ball handling was excellent. Doesn't really do it often though. Isolation below average. So these are just to give idea. This is what I look at when I'm looking at just people's numbers. And trying to get a basis of how good they are and what scenarios or what situations they're good in. Because as a catch and shoot, it looks like DeAndre Hunter and Bogey are actually pretty good. Yeah, they're offensively, they look like they're both pretty good. So, I think I'm going to stop there. Because there's nobody really else I want to take a look at. We can look at DeJounte just to kind of get an idea. So, this right. DeJounte was very good in all his possessions last year. That what makes that honestly, and I'm refreshing the page just to make sure. But honestly, yeah, I was about to say, okay, honestly, he had some big games for us. But yeah, actually redoing it was average. Let me refresh it again just to make sure. Yeah, he was average for us. Pick and roll ball handler, he was good. Spot up, he was very good, which is ironic. Transition, he was just average. Isolation, he was actually excellent. Actually has the makings of actually a very good player. I like to see the pick and roll, that quality of the pick and roll higher. Let me see, the year before, because he was with us 2 years, right? Year before, he was very good in the pick and roll. Isolation was average, though. So it's just not consistent there. His shot type, Good. He was very good in catch and shoot when he was guarded or unguarded, which is pretty impressive for him. His dribble jumper was good. Was he not good at the rim? Another guy not good at the rim. Average and below average on dunking. And that's 82%. Still below average. My goodness. So, kind of gives like a tall tale sign of the reason we weren't necessarily the best offensively. And how the game is played now, you have to score buckets. So, but that's kind of what I look at. And then I kind of deep dive further from there. But I'm going to stop here. I am tired. I'm not going to lie to you. This is day 7 for me. I'm going to keep this thing going. And I'm tired and I hear one of my kids crying. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I will see you guys next time. Bye.